Right now, the queen, she on live. Right now. Please pull over the whip, no phoning when you drive. Dope Soul Sporting with the talk. First lady from New York, Brooklyn. All my people, you rocking with the chat. Hit that. The like button would tell me where you at. You know, Step from the NBK. Born and raised up NBK. Hey, real lady where she holding it down. No matter way how you feel, she gon' greet you with a smile.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Oh, sister, it's time you
That's
shine. Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
What?
Dope Soul.
What?
Your soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Salute, Nick family. Shout out to Jay Boogie for that song. I was just jamming to it, waiting for me to go live. Shout out to everybody joining me today. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive game recap. Welcome to the channel, Dope Soul Sports Talk, Dope Soul Knicks Talk, a member of the NBK family. Who's excited and happy today? Every Knicks fan should be. Listen, I didn't know if the Knicks would win this game. They didn't play. It's not even that they didn't play well. That too. But the moment, in my opinion, looked a bit too big for the team overall. Maybe not every single player, but for most of the players on the team. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen last night. I wasn't sure if the Knicks, I knew they would show up, but I didn't know what to expect. The Knicks we got last night are the Knicks that I'm familiar with. They play physical. They play tough. They made shots. They made big shots. Brunson showed up. Randall showed up. RJ Barrett continued to be steady Eddie. We got something from Grimes offensively, but his defense on Butler was stellar. And kudos to Tom Thibodeau for not doubling Jimmy Butler. I mean, I get it. In Milwaukee, that was the criticism, I believe, that they didn't double him. And he went off for 40 and 50 points. Okay, I get it. But you got to look at what he's doing in this particular series. You got to look at what his teammates are doing in this particular series. And you can always adjust accordingly. He goes off, you start getting hot, and you need to double team him, you double team him. But I just think he was getting too much attention. Grimes did a hell of a job on Brunson, on Brunson last night. Let's get into it. As far as the starters are concerned, there was no changes, right? Grimes stayed in the starting lineup. A lot of Knicks fans was complaining that Tom Thibodeau played essentially a 7-man rotation. Last night, it was down to like 6 almost, because I don't think, Josh Hart was in foul trouble again for the second game in a row. So I think he played, I don't know, I want to say 9 minutes, or something like that. So we went with essentially a 6-man rotation. Grimes played the entire game. I don't think that was the intention, but he played the entire game. Brunson played the entire game. These guys were really locked in. So let's talk about it. Shout out to everybody. Ashley Inc., Jarrell, Sean Kern, Showen, Jeff Clafter, Ajay, Sean Newman, Deron Wayne, and anybody else that's going to join. Jeff, I hope I said Jeff, JJ. I appreciate you guys rocking with me this morning. Listen, the Knicks found a way to win. Miami took more shots. They took more threes. They had more second chance points. They had more bench points, 42-8. Second chance points, 21-12. Like, this is usually the Knicks, right? But the Knicks found a way to win. They won the boards, right? Which has not always been the case in this series. They won points off turnovers, 29-5. They went to the line 40 times and made 29 of them. Should they have shot better? Yeah. But they made more free throws than Miami attempted. The Knicks made 29 free throws. Miami attempted I want to say 16 or 19. The Knicks had 16 fast break points, right? And more importantly, or in addition to all of that, they hit big shots. They hit timely shots. Remember in game 4, every time the Knicks would make a dent in the lead, attempt a comeback, somebody on Miami would hit a big shot to stall our run. That's what we did last night, right? Miami trying to get back into the game would make it close. The Knicks would hit a big shot. The Knicks would get a big stop, right? Um, Grimes with the one-legged steal. RJ Barrett with the block on Jimmy Butler. The Knicks they just did what they needed to do last night. And I'm hoping that the Knicks found something. I'm hoping in game 5 that they finally figured out what it takes to really win a basketball game against this team. Right? They're going to have to play hard. They're going to have to get to every loose ball. And we weren't perfect. There were rebounds I thought that we should have got. I mean, we got, I think, 3 more offensive rebounds than they did. It didn't look like it. It looked like every time you turned around, they were getting an extra shot at the basket. And they did outscore us in terms of second chance points. I think it was 21-12. That has to stop. Miami should not be getting and converting second chance points on the Knicks. We have to do a better job rebounding the basketball. Randall was a factor last night, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 53.8% from the field, 57% from 3, 60% from the free throw line, 6 for 10. The first half, him going against Bam, I don't understand what that was about. That's just not an advantage that we have isolating Julius Randle against Bam Adebayo. Like, I didn't get it, right? Now, if you're going to do like a pick and roll with Brunson and try to get a mismatch and try to take advantage of that, I kind of get it. But they're not switching, right? They're hedging, they're showing, they're getting back to their guy. Randall, when he gets the ball, he waits for Bam to get in position anyway. So I just don't understand what that was about. But we went away from that as the game went on. We got Randall the ball in space. Randall gave up some 3-pointers to drive to the basket. He got 1 or 2 of those to go, and I think he just transformed and he became more of himself on the offensive end. In the second half, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, but he didn't miss a shot. In the second half, he didn't miss a free throw in the second half, and he shot 50% from the 3-point line. I thought offensively he was great. Defensively, I don't think he was terrible. I just thought there was at least one defensive rebound that I felt we needed to have, and Randall was right there, and we didn't get it. And then when Bam drove down the lane, you don't want to take the charge? Fine. You got to foul him, especially after he punched you in the eye in the first quarter, the first minute. I was late getting to the game already. He had a blast. When did it happen? I was 1 minute late, So, overall, though, I thought Randall was great. Kudos to him also for being voted All NBA third team. Just a nod to the great regular season that he had. RJ continues to be steady Eddie, 26.7 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, 47.1% from the field. He hit big shots. He had 3 threes. He had a floater in the key. His shot from the baseline was going. The block on Jimmy Butler, the passing. I didn't see a lot of mistakes from RJ Barrett last night. And if RJ Barrett is hitting 3-pointers, I'm really, really good with RJ Barrett because we need that. And if he can provide that, in addition to what he's been providing to us in the playoffs, I'm all good with RJ Barrett. Let me check in with the chat first, and then I'll get back. I want to talk a little bit about Brunson, who's just been amazing for us. And I don't think I'm overstating it. I think we're just so used to seeing him perform the way he performs. And to see him perform that way in Cleveland and Miami, that maybe we taking it a little bit for granted. I even see some fans saying RJ is the best player, in the playoffs. Brunson is not doing this. Brunson is playing bad also. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. But we'll talk about Brunson a little later. Let me check in with the chat. Sean Newman, Randall doesn't get back on D a lot of times. Like Butler, if offense is off, he lacks on defense. Okay. Cool, Cal G. Appreciate you, my brother. RJ got to watch those passes, though. Okay. Knicks are nice. Somebody told me Knicks are nice is Pudge nice. Let me know Knicks are nice. Are you Pudge nice? RJ's been most consistent. I don't think he's been more consistent than Brunson, in my opinion. But I think he's been really, really good. Hartenstein's putback was a backbreaker. Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And that's the thing. In games like my playoff games in general, but particularly against Miami, the game is going to be mucked up. It's going to be physical. You got to match their intensity, of course, but you got to get those timely shots, those timely baskets, those timely stops, the timely rebounds. And that putback by Hartenstein was a timely basket. We needed it at that time. And I think he only had 2 points or 4 points or something like that. That was a big one. Walter White, I'm not going to hop on this point, but if Grimes starts from game 1, we would probably be up 3-2 in game 1. Each time he took Grimes out, we either had a lead or was making a run. Listen, I think we do this a lot. Somebody plays well in one game. Oh, we should have been playing him. That we should have been doing that all along. Grimes wasn't playing well. And that's just point blank, period. He just wasn't playing well. And he wasn't taking a lot of shots. So I think in hindsight, sure, if you're going to take this Grimes, what we saw last night, he only had 8 points. But in terms of what he did defensively and how he impacted the game, sure, we're going to take this Grimes we saw last night, and you can guarantee we're going to get this Grimes in those other games. Maybe the turnout would have been different. But if you ask me, Grimes wasn't the difference in this game. And I'm not taking anything away from him. The difference in this game was the Knicks hit shots, and they hit timely shots. That was the difference in the game. Obviously, what Grimes did was important. What Brunson did was important. What Randall did was important. Everybody contributed. Mitch, 3 or 4 from the free throw. He was 4 of 8 overall, but 3 or 4 when they went to the hack of Mitch. That was important. So what everyone did was important. But I'm not going to sit here and say Grimes was the difference in this game. It just wasn't the difference. The Knicks hit those timely shots. That was the difference in the game. And I'm glad Grimes seems to have settled in this series. He doesn't seem to be, I'm not going to say shook. Shook is kind of strong, but he just seems to have settled in this game. So, kudos to him. But I'm not going to say this would have been a different series had we started Grimes. This would have been a different series if the Knicks had knocked down shots. Jeff Clafter, Randall sealed the deal with a hustle play at the end. Only bucket of the 4th for him. Yeah, I thought Randall was good in the second half. We need more. Nah, Sherman. Nah. What did we get? What did we get from Randall isolating against Bam, who can move his feet, who's really strong, who's been playing well? Listen, just because Bam wasn't aggressive, so you say, in this series, what you think it was Randall going ISO on him that softened him up? What about the other 2 games when he played extremely well? It was the same thing. Randall going ISO. It didn't soften him up then and make him less aggressive. Let's stop with that. I just don't think that's a good matchup. I mean, you could disagree. I just don't think it's a good matchup. Shout out to Ron from Still Knick Fans. Appreciate you. Sim in the house. Appreciate you, Sim. Let's get it. I was listening to Sim last night. Sim was hype, man. He was cursing and carrying on, and I was right with you, Sim. Let's get this shit. The Knicks out there acting like they don't know how to play. So, like I said, I hope they found something against Miami, because going into Game 6 is going to be tough. However, if the Knicks are just as physical, if the Knicks are hitting their shots, particularly timely shots, playing defense the way they played yesterday, they can win Game 6. They can win Game 6. JJ, no, Bam isn't the guy to ISO against. Too good and strong a defender. Ajay Simcave, let's go. Salute Ajay. I mean, Jarrell, we're on tonight, 9 p.m. But Ajay said Sim came in hot last night. I was listening. Okay. All right. Foul trouble makes him less aggressive. But was Randall getting him in foul trouble? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. I don't have a lot today. I think the game spoke for itself. But let's talk a little bit about Brunson, who, in my opinion, remains the series' best player. 38 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 turnover, 54.5% from the field, 40% from 3, 83.3% from the free throw line. He went to the line 12 times. He made 10 of them. And they were hounding him. Like, him and Randall are at the top, of the game plan. They were hounding him, and it didn't matter. He had to work for it. Now, he played the entire 48 minutes, and he had to work during those 48 minutes in terms of bringing the ball up the court, and he still came up huge for us. He's dependable. He doesn't get flustered. If you need a basket, he's going to get you a basket. The Knicks have been hitting shots the last 2 games, so his assists have been up. I don't know if he's passing it more. But the last 2 games, the Knicks have been hitting shots. So he had 9 assists, 7 assists today, 9 assists yesterday. Last game, he hasn't been perfect, but he's been really, really good. And Barrett is able to do what Barrett does because of the attention that Brunson commands. He's been phenomenal for us. The Knicks, still have to improve. They're not getting 40 free throws in Game 6. Book it. I think Miami took 19 free throws. They hit 16 of them, by the way. The Knicks aren't getting 40 free throws. So they're going to have to knock down the shots, the free throws that they do get. They can't allow the second chance opportunities. 21-12. Miami had the advantage. That just can't happen. The Knicks are going to have, you're fighting for your life, basically, in Game 6. You're going into a hostile environment. Miami is probably already talking about the free throw disparity. I haven't heard anything, but I'm pretty sure they're out there talking about the free throw disparity, right? To me, it wasn't a disparity. The refs finally woke up and saw they moving screens all the time, and they're fouling the Knicks. The Knicks could have went to the line 54 times last night. Lowry, Bam, all these guys do is fight. And I'm not one to talk about the officials. It's the playoffs. If you can get away with it, get away with it. If you can get away with it, get away with it. I would, right? But the officials have to see it. Let's see what happens in Game 6. I don't think they're getting 40 free throw. And the Knicks have to continue to hit shots. Timely shots. Everybody. I think what opened it up for the Knicks was not just Grimes. I think Grimes had 2 or 3 3-pointers, but RJ Barrett had 3 3-pointers. Randall had multiple 3-pointers. Brunson had 3 or 4 3-pointers. When you have multiple players shooting threes, hitting their perimeter shots, you can't continue to pack it in the paint. If it's one guy, you can live with that. But if it's multiple guys, you can't live with that. Multiple guys on the Knicks, players on the Knicks, were knocking down that shot. That opened it up. That loosened it up for the Knicks. And we have to continue to do that. Let's go over this really quick. We talked about this. Brunson, Barrett, Randall were our top 3 scorers. The Knicks shot 49% from the field. They only took 71 shots. Now, obviously, they went to the line 40 times. So those were shots as well. They shot 38% from the three-point. There you go. They took 34 three-pointers. They made 13. 72.5% from the free throw line. But the Knicks got the volume on the free throws. They got 40 of them. They hit 29. Now, I don't anticipate that happening, like I said, in Miami. We shall see. Butler, 19.7 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 blocks, didn't shoot well from the field. And I think Grimes had a lot to do with that. I love the way Grimes navigates screens. You know, he's really quick, really like cat-like reflexes with his feet. You know, he allows the screener to go through and boom, he's right back on Butler. I just love the way he plays him. I love the way he navigates the screens. He's giving up inches, but that's okay. That's okay. Adebayo, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 63.3% from the field. Duncan Robinson, 17 points, 5 3-pointers, 46.2. He was the one really keeping them in the game. The other players on the team, they were not shooting well, particularly from 3. I think Kevin Love was 0 for 7. Now, some of those shots, missed shots, were because of the Knicks. Some of them, they got them. They just weren't knocking them down. The Knicks perimeter defense is going to have to be a bit better in Miami. They shot 42% from the field. They got up 88 shots, though. They shot 30.2% from the three-point line. They didn't take 192 free throws, but they took 19 and they hit 16. They're a good free throw shooting team. But thank goodness the refs didn't send them to the line. Jimmy Butler is getting the Michael Jordan treatment. And like I said, I'm not one to complain about the officiating, but you can't touch this guy. You can't be physical with this guy. But they can punch the Knicks in the face. They can throw elbows. They can move on the screens. And all of that up until yesterday went unnoticed, or I should say wasn't reflected in the free throws that the Knicks were getting. All right, let me see if there's anything else that I want to outline, I want to talk about in the box score. Mitchell Robinson, 8 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, like we talked about. They did the hack of Mitch 4 times before Tibbs was able to get him out. He hit 3 or 4. Kudos to Mitchell Robinson, understanding the moment. Shaq would say that as well. Anytime you try to get on Shaq about his free throws, he'll say, but in the big moments that I hit him. And for the most part, he did. Mitchell Robinson, did that last night. He had 11 rebounds. He had 5 offensive rebounds. Quentin Grimes, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He did have 4 turnovers, but that's a Hart-like line, right? So he was able to fill up the box score for us last night. Kudos to Quentin Grimes. Played 48 minutes. Josh Hart, 9 minutes. 4 fouls. And I think he probably could have played a little more, but Grimes had it going, at least on the defensive end, and Tibbs just decided to rock with it. And I like that. This is the playoffs. Whatever is working, you got to be flexible enough to go with what's working. We played essentially 6 guys last night. Kudos to Obi Toppin. He played 12 minutes. He got 6 rebounds. Kudos to Tibbs. Randall didn't have it in the first half, in my opinion. And he went to the bench for a long rest, and he needed it. And I thought Obi Toppin played well in that stretch. Maybe he didn't shoot well. He was 0 for 2 for 3, but he got 5 rebounds. That's important in this series. The Knicks out-rebounded Miami, I want to say, 50-34. Obi Toppin was a part of that, right? The Knicks could have crashed and burned with Randall on the bench. But Obi came in and he held it down, as far as the rebounding is concerned. He only played 12 minutes. Isaiah Hartenstein, 22 minutes, 4 points, none bigger than that putback, staying active, staying engaged. 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. And it's going to take, and game 6 is going to be something totally different. You got to be ready for it. All right, let me just do this real quick, and then I'll get back to the chat. What stood out here, points in the paint was relatively even. And Miami is a very good team as far as defending points in the paint, right? They're tops in the league, just like the Knicks are. Both teams are really good defending points in the paint. So Miami was +2 points in the paint. Second chance points 21-12. I'm not understanding what's happening here. I'm just not understanding how they're able to convert. Now, the Knicks have more offensive rebounds. The Knicks have 14 offensive rebounds. They got 12 points. They're having a hard time converting these second chance opportunities against Miami. Miami had 11 offensive rebounds for 21 second chance points. I do think that's something we have to do better at. There was a key points in the game. When you look at it overall, the Knicks dominated, as far as offensive, +3 offensive rebounds, but +14, I believe, overall, right? And they also won in defensive rebounding as well. But there were key points in the game where we needed a timely rebound, defensive rebound, and we just wasn't able to get it. That has to be better going into game 6. Hostile territory, right? So that stood out for me. The fast break points, the Knicks had 16 fast break points. If you can, quicken the pace, but you got to get stops. You want to get out on the break, you got to get stops. It's hard to get out on the break when you're taking the ball out of bounds because they made a basket. Right? You want to get out on a fast break, get turnovers, get steals, get stops. You can get out on the breaks. 16-9. Right? Really good for the Knicks. Anytime you can get a point before they're able to set up, that's good. All right. Knicks are nice. Appreciate you. I think that is Pudge nice. Trish D, Mitch is not protecting the rim. He's being pulled out too far and he's too slow to get back. So they blow right by him. That is a huge Mitch problem. Yeah, I think when you look at the stats look good. When you look at the game, I thought Mitchell Robinson was up and down, as a lot of the Knicks players were. A few of the Knicks players were. I thought he was up and down. There were times when I just thought, Hartenstein came in. I thought Hartenstein was playing well. Next thing you know, here comes Mitch. But, it is what it is. It's possible that the coaching staff, because they're tracking stats throughout the game. So it's possible that they were seeing things that us as fans just weren't seeing, which is why they put Mitchell Robinson back in the game. I thought Mitchell was good. I didn't think it was great, but I thought he was good. Ashley Inc. 1, appreciate you. Wiz, they fouled us when we had offensive rebounds and we missed 10 free throws. Yeah, no doubt about it. Mitch was better in the second. Andrew Clay, K. Breaking news, Rowan, RJ Barrett, for those that don't know, is a baller. He's been that in this series. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Jarrell, Bam should be a marked man on Friday. Everybody needs to chip in on being physical with him. No doubt about it. That pick and roll where he's coming down the middle, that's prime opportunity. I'm not saying hurt him, but for anybody that's in that vicinity, you got to send a message. You're not going to be rolling through here like you strolling through Central Park. Anything you get, you're going to have to earn it at the line. Now, he is a good free throw shooter, so it's not like he won't make them. He probably will make them, but that's not the point. You're sending a message. You're letting them know when you come down here, you're going to get fouled really, really hard. Legally, but hard. Do you really want to run this play again? That's what the Knicks have to do. The Knicks have been, soft might be too strong of a word, but they have not been the physical Knicks that I know, the physical Knicks that I've seen. And they need to get back to that. And I'm hoping that that's something that they found in game 5. That, yeah, it's necessary. This is what you're going to have to do. You have to get after it. If the Knicks shoot 38% from 3 in game 6, we win. Miami is packing the paint to stop Randall and Brunson. They are. And Sherwin, this may not be your point, but how I'm hearing it is you could talk all that other jazz you want to talk. The Knicks need to hit shots if they want to win in game 6. And that's what I've been saying for the series. You got to hit shots, but you got to get some volume, as well, because the Knicks shot well in game 5 from the field and from 3. I just didn't think they got enough volume. But yeah. This is what you want to win this series. You want to push it to game 7. You want to close it out at the Garden. You got to hit shots, timely shots as well. Ajay, Queen, I have no problem calling out the refs. What they out there killing the Knicks. Hope Tony Brothers don't ref game 6. Walter White, I hope Sims highlights those moving screams. Bam could have found out if they called even one of them. Yeah, I know Sim talked last night on a Nothing But Knicks postgame show about putting out a video. And then if he's able to do it, if we could just share it, I don't know. Maybe somebody in the officiating office will get it and take a look at it. Obviously I'm not faulting them. If you can get away with it, get away with it. Tristy, no doubt they are being allowed to play a lot more physical than the Knicks. Yes. Kevin Went, appreciate you. Morning, staff. I think our squad is about to go streaking in a good way. You know what? Somebody brought this up. I don't know if it was Ron from Still Knick Fans on the show, one of the shows. The Knicks are a streaky team. Maybe this is the beginning of a streak, as Kevin Went say, in a good way. We got to get it out the mud from here on out. And honestly, I want it that way because we have to play with an urgency. Let's see. No doubt about it. In the Knicks, you're going to have to get dirty. And I'm not talking about being a dirty player. I mean, playing physical, getting on the floor for loose balls, snatching it out of their hands, tying them up when they bring the ball down. You got to get dirty. You're not going to be able to play this game clean. And I hope everybody understands. I'm not talking about illegal stuff, trying to hurt people. I mean, getting dirty, like getting messy, get on the ground, roll out of bounds, dive into, get dirty that way. Jonathan Green, Grimes just does a better job on Butler than Hart. No doubt about it. These past, at least yesterday, it was apparent. If Brunson stays attached to Robinson, we win handily. Yeah, but this is the thing. For him to stay attached, basically, that means not to rotate. You want to give him that much respect? Don't rotate, because that's what's happening. We're rotating on, they're swinging the ball. We're rotating. They're swinging it back to Robinson. We got to scramble to get back. He has a quick release and it's up. So that's something the Knicks are going to have to decide. I'm not doing that. Let's see. I mean, there have been times when I've told a player, don't rotate too much, or sometimes, depending on who it is, don't even be a part of the rotation. Just stay with that person. But Miami has a lot of weapons. Miami, Jimmy Butler can put the ball on the floor. Lowry can put the ball on the floor. They don't have a lot of players that can put the ball on the floor. So you got to be careful if you're going to tell a player, stay attached. Don't be a part of the rotation, because it opens up other things. Robinson was open more than Walmart. Terrible defense on him. Shaking my head. Yeah. Sherwin, coming into last night, we were the worst three-point shooting team in the history of the NBA. I take it you mean in the playoffs. I mean, listen, this coming into the series, many of us said that. You want to win this series, you're going to have to hit shots from the perimeter. They're going to pack it in. You're going to have to prove to them that you can hit those perimeter shots consistently before they come out of that defense. Jeff Clafter, they shot 17 more times than us, and we still won. I think the free throw disparity had a lot to do with that. We went 40, they went 19. We hit 29, they hit 16. Jay Boogie, appreciate you. Good morning, blessings, health, happiness. I'm on my John Travolta, we staying alive. Shout out the squad. Unlike Atlanta series, it didn't end on our court. Yeah, no doubt about it. And before I forget, I know my condition. J Boogie has an album dropping Sunday on Mother's Day called, let me get it right, My Sunshine, right? So wherever you get your music, wherever you download your music, look for J Boogie's album dropping on Mother's Day, My Sunshine, and we have one of his other songs dropping at the end of this show called Breaking News. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Appreciate you, J Boogie. Appreciate the super chat. Shot 38% from three. That made the game easier. Yes, it does. Sean Newman. Laurie was hacking crazy. Yeah. I mean, he's physical. He doesn't have the lateral speed advantage, but he is physical. And that helps him. When you're able to hack players and be super physical and the officials don't call it, that's you get an advantage. Walter White, did y'all notice Randall trying to calm Brunson down? That blew my mind. I actually missed that. Missed that. Okay. I just think Butler got in Hart's head and taken him completely out the series. He's been ineffective. I think the officials have taken him out of the series, quite frankly. Some of these BS calls. First of all, that wasn't a foul when Jimmy Butler was shooting the three. He kicked his leg out. If you look at it, that play over and over, Josh Hart he went up and he landed in the regular spot. He didn't land, a foot or a couple of inches ahead. He landed right in the spot he went up in. Jimmy Butler kicked his leg out. It wasn't a foul, period, in my opinion. And you're going to upgrade it to a flagrant? No, the officials is taking Josh Hart out the game. Just being in foul trouble, not being able to get his rhythm. He'll be back in game 6. Nothing but Knicks, son. Appreciate you. In the series versus the Cavs, Grimes shot 18% from the field and 11% from three. Hart was shooting 56% from the field and 45% from three versus the Cavs. So it made sense when Grimes went out to keep Hart in. And this is what gets lost. Somebody has a good game, we go overboard. Somebody has a poor game, we go overboard. Grimes was not playing well in Cleveland. Then he got hurt. Hart replaced him in the starting lineup and played well. Can you blame a coach for saying, you know what? This guy, when he was starting, wasn't playing well. He goes out with injury. His replacement is playing well. You know what? When we go into the Miami series, I'm just going to stick with what's been working. Right? 18% from the field, 11% from three. Come on. Now, kudos for Tom for taking another look. You got to stay fluid in the playoffs. You got to stay fluid with your rotations. You got to stay fluid with your schemes. You come in saying, I'm going to double Butler. That's not working because the other players are responding. You got to change it up. Now we're not doubling Butler. He goes off in game 6. You're going to have to double. Like, you have to stay fluid. And the same thing with the lineups. You got to stay fluid. Starting Hart was the right move, in my opinion. Now, you feel like we need some perimeter shooting? I don't know. Maybe he was seeing something in practice where he felt like Grimes at least potentially can go back, can get us some perimeter shooting. He went back to Grimes, and it's working out. Doesn't mean that what came before was wrong. It's just you staying fluid. You're searching. You're looking. And when something works, you try to stick with it. Obi Toppin, Randall was out. He started for Randall. 18 points, 8 rebounds. Randall came back. He went back to getting 10, 12, 14, minutes a game. You got to stay fluid. Walter White, I think McBride should get 12 to 15 minutes to give Brunson and Grimes a blow. With Grimes and Deuce on the court together, I believe we can maintain a lead. Maybe it gets some transition points. Maybe. it's possible. I for one just don't trust Deuce on the offensive end. I trust him defensively. And we might be able to get some steals and get out in transition. But in this series, we need some perimeter shooting. But I don't know if Brunson can go 48 minutes again with just one day of recovery. Remember, we play Friday. So you make a good point, Walter White. It's we'll quickly be back. And then if quickly is back, we'll quickly be back. Um, we'll see, All right. I think that's all I have. Sometime today, I'll do In the Neighborhood with Freezy. We usually do it at 12, but I got to take my auntie to the airport. Tonight at 9 or 9:30, the Just Nicking It show. And then Saturday, I'll be back for the morning recap show. And hopefully Saturday morning, I'm talking about the Knicks pushing this to Game 7. I really do think the Knicks can win Game 6, but they have to be physical. They have to win. They have to win the rebounds. Rebounds. They have to win. They can't turn the ball over. Points off turnovers, I believe, 19-5, 29-5, something like that. So we can push it to Game 7. But we got to ball out in Game 6. It's not going to be easy. Keith Turner, Brunson came up huge. The only thing I don't like about him, sometimes he hijacks the offense. Yeah, I get that. Sometimes he needs to, though. Sometimes he needs to. But I agree with that. I think him and Randall both going to have to figure out when to go for theirs, when to pass it, pass it around, get yours within the flow of the offense. They're two talented ISO players. So you don't want to take that away from them altogether. But I agree. They're going to have to figure it out. Don't leave. I got the J Boogie song going, coming up, but I do want to just spread some love before I get out of here and play it. David L., I appreciate you. Ajay, Tris D, Snipes Entertainment, I appreciate you. Jeff Clafter, come a regular on Dope Soul. He just snuck his way in there. Appreciate you. Keith Turner, Sherwin, Sim, Nothing But Knicks, of course. Tay, 234, reminding us, appreciate you, one game at a time. Let's not get ahead of us. One game at a time. Tim Smith, Knicks did a great job of not letting the refs take them out of the game, but I think the refs also let the Knicks play. Let the Knicks play. Tristy, different matchups matter too, no doubt about it. Ashley Inc. won. Obi had 6 rebounds in 12 minutes. That's 18 and 36. Listen, it doesn't always stay at that level, but as time goes on in the game, but I get what you're saying. Keith Turner, appreciate you. These refs are terrible. For real. Luke Benidzi. I don't think I got that right. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is your second time, welcome back. Hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. We got 72 in here. I'm not sure. I don't have the show up, so I don't know how many likes we have. But if you haven't already, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If refs not going to cheese free throws for Lakers, 50 plus more free throws for Lakers in this series, by the way, it's over for them. Craig, Auntie, do we consider RJ the man now? Listen, he's been playing like the man in this series. No doubt about it. His contributions, what can you say about it? People want to talk about plus minus. People want to talk about on, off. People, okay, all right. I get it. But we need counting stats. We need points. We need rebounds. We need shots. And that's what RJ Barrett is doing for us. For me, the only thing about RJ Barrett in his entire game, can you become a more consistent three-point shooter? If RJ Barrett, even if it's just off the catch and shoot, even if it's not off the dribble, he becomes a better catch and shoot three-point shooting, that changes everything for the Knicks. Because in my opinion, that's what the Knicks are missing. Perimeter shooting. Dependable perimeter shooting. You get that, teams have to pick their poison. You want to double Brunson and Randall? Okay. We got shooters that can shoot it. You want to stay home on the shooters? Okay. Randall, RJ, and Brunson, they can get it in the lane. That's what we need. Jarrell, appreciate you. Sherwin, yes, in the playoffs. We're shooting 27% from three, the worst in the history of the play. It's a miracle that we're going to game 6 in the second round of the playoffs, shooting 27% from three. It's a miracle. We got to get better with that. Ron, I appreciate you. I think I said Ashley Inc. already. J-Tap, I appreciate you. One of my Patreon supporters. Shout out to all my Patreon. I think it's only 5 or 6, but whoever you are, I appreciate you. Y'all paying for my Canva, paying for part of my StreamYard. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ajay, the link is in the description for anybody else that want to support the channel. $5 a month. Become a Patreon member. It helps. Makes things easier. Sam, Bam needs to earn everything. He's taking out all of our players, no doubt about it. You got to earn everything. Everything. Now, we only playing 6 players. We only playing 6 players, so we got to be a little careful. Tris D, I appreciate you. Andrew K, Jay Boogie, who was in here. Sean Newman. All right. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to play this new one from Jay Boogie. I was able to listen to it. Oh, wait. Whoa. Oh, here we go. Appreciate you guys.
We got a piece of the pie.
You can't be serious. What they talking about? Huh? They say when the Knicks is doing good, the TV ratings is all the way up. That's how it's supposed to be in the league, you heard? We the #1 franchise, it is point blank, all hands down. You heard? Somebody tell me and beg, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Dexter Henry, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Lil Beto, I need breaking news. Soon as it break, I'm breaking off with breaking news. Somebody tell Allen Hahn, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Ali Zerb, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Mike McNutt, I need breaking news. Soon as it break, I'm breaking off with breaking news. If it ain't the Michael J. Fox playing the role of the Spider-Man, I'm taking 2 out of 3 games in Cleveland. 4-1, yeah, we did it in 5. Press the button on PCAST and tell them that you're going live. All I see right now, orange and blue skies. The beat knock, I'm trembled with a little highs. I thought I told you already, yeah, the city lit. I'm out the window, the streets look like a movie script. Around me, I'm secured, bunch of Knicks fans. What's the problem? They playing over in Brooklyn. Look around, they swept this another 4. Fair side, Joe Clark got them chain doors. I know you feeling like really, yeah, the truth hurts. Across the street, MSG, that's the network. I'm like McFadden and Whitehead, ain't no stopping. The game on, tell them that you Nick watching. Somebody tell me and beg, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Dexter Henry, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Lil Beto, I need breaking news. Soon as it break, I'm breaking off with breaking news. Somebody tell Allen Hahn, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Ali Zerb, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Mike McNutt, I need breaking news. Soon as it break, I'm breaking off with breaking news. The playoffs round 2, we showing no fear. Signal to Mount Brunson, burner, this the new gear. New wave, but they say we ain't cool no more. Katie about to exit twice, that ain't cool no more. New York City, we ain't back, we ain't never left. Just stay away from Jay Reed when he ain't on my F. I'm so impressed way we doing our thing outside in every park. Kids playing with that Spalding. The best story this year was on a Nick page. Full coverage, the league got this Nick page. A lot of doubters right now, they want to see us lose. But I don't care about Riley with them shiny shoes. The orange blue right now, such a pretty view. You look around, we taking over the YouTube. That Nick love, we the best on the podcast. Monopoly money, 200 every time we go past. Somebody tell me and beg, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Dexter Henry, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Lil Beto, I need breaking news. Soon as it break, I'm breaking off with breaking news. Somebody tell Allen Hahn, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Ali Zerb, I need breaking news. Somebody tell Mike McNutt, I need breaking news. Soon as it break, I'm breaking off with breaking news. If I ain't say your name, you probably ain't give me no breaking news to talk about. Over here we family, we stick to the script. Orange and blue, y'all stay out of the script.